Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldus and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, Zach here for Friday Night Flies. Once again, this week we've got you a very, very cool old school pattern. When I say old, I mean old. This one dates back to sometime around the 1860s, well before my time. Maybe around Brad's age, the Stone Age, somewhere around there, when cavemen still roamed. Somehow he escaped. It's still here. So yeah, this is a pretty cool little wet fly. It was originally intended for lakes. It was even banned on certain waters back in the UK at one point. So it's got a pretty cool history. I'm going to be using this for cutties though, so I'm going to mix it up a little bit, tie it on a little different hook, and should be kind of fun. I'm going to hit the stillwaters with it as well, so there's lots of versatility with this one. Yeah, it's a pretty cool pattern. It goes together pretty easy. Again, it's got that classic look, which is I've been kind of playing with as of late. It's been a lot of fun to mess around with. So, yeah, let's head on down and check it out. All right, guys, so there it is, the Alexandria. So like I said, pretty classic looking wet fly. Pretty cool. The thing I love about the classics is they're just so simple. There's not much to them. Patterns these days can be quite complicated, as you've seen on some of our flies. They can get pretty nuts. Really, it's just the simplest of things that really catch the fish. So for a hook, I'm using a Marudo M34 in a size 6. It's a pretty cool little hook. That's the package there, just to give you an idea. It's a pretty neat hook, pretty heavy wire, which is kind of nice. You can definitely use this for salmon and stuff like that as well. So you can see it's got a return bend, which is nice, nice thick wire. If you've never fished with Marudos, they are stupid sharp, so be careful. For thread, I'm using an 8/0 uni. That's what I got. It's 6/0 Danville, UTC 70, all work as well. I've just got a few spools of this, so might as well use it up before I buy new stuff. Really not a big fan of uni thread, to be honest. It's not my favorite. So all I'm going to do is take this thread to the back and end it kind of at the hook point there. Now for a tail, I'm just using some claret goose shoulder. Can't remember where I picked this stuff up, but I know Susan at Chinook Wind Outfitters has a bunch. I don't have any in store yet. I'm trying to bring some in here. But check out Susan's website, ChinookWindOutfitters.com. They've got some really cool stuff on there, some cool colors of this as well. I've been using this a lot for wings on the classic spay flies and things like that I've been tying up. So all I'm doing is I'm taking my scissors and sliding it through, and it looks to be a little bit much, so I'll just brush everything back together. I want a chunk from each side, so this marries up the tail. So that should be good there. So I've got 2 chunks here. Just going to place them together. So now they're both touching. Nice side facing out. I'm going to make that tail roughly the length of the body. So I'm just going to do a pinching loop. So I'm just going to pull my thread over nice and loose. I'm going to pinch the thread and the 2 pieces of goose shoulder together. I'm going to pull straight down. That should marry them, have them sit right on top. Just give it a couple extra wraps. There you go. So you can see that's sitting right on top. I'm going to trim the rest of this just at the end of that return bend, that wire, just kind of fill in that gap. And just kind of fill that in like so. Now, to continue filling in that gap, I'm going to tie in my rib, which is just some uni French oval and small. You can use wire for this as well. This was the first thing I grabbed off my bench at home this morning. So this is what you're getting. So as you can see here, you can see that return bend. I'm just filling in that step with the wire. I'm going to take it along the side, just to where that tail starts. And now for the body material, just some mylar and gold silver. I want the silver side to be showing, so I'm going to tie it with the gold side facing out. So again, I'm just going to tie that in the length of that little bump. I'm going to take this up here. going to stop maybe an eye length back. So I'm going to add a hackle
Nice private
and a wing. There we go. I'm just going to wrap this up. Just overlapping wraps. All the way up. Like I said, I'm going to be using this one for cutties this year. Kind of a cool minnow imitation. Should swim quite well. Definitely use it in the lakes as well. Any pattern that's got a crazy taboo history like this one, I'll definitely give it a go. Just lock that down. It's kind of bugging me, that little chunk there. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. Now I'll just take a full turn at the back of the rib. I'll kind of wrap this up. Maybe 5 or 6. 5 there. Trap that in. Just trim that. And just lock that down. Like so. Now to protect the body, you can use some of the Solarez Bone Dry. Just a light coating. Doesn't need much. If you've been watching the show for a while, you see me use this stuff all the time. Got a little bit much on there. Try to get some of that off. There we go. Just zap that with the light. Now that body is bulletproof. So we're going to add a little hackle here. I just got a black saddle hackle. Tie it in by the tip. Just kind of pull those fibers back. Get them sticking out perpendicular. Just tie it in by the tip, fold that back. Folding it back really helps to secure it as well as helps to keep the taper of that head nice and tidy. Trim away any stragglers. And just pull that back as we wrap. How full this is all up to you. I like it not too heavy, not too sparse, somewhere in between. Spin on me a little bit here, but I'll just fight through it. Tie off there, that's looking pretty good to me. We got some here that are kind of sticking forward. Just pull those back, we'll wrap back on them. We want all these hackle fibers to point backwards, because if they're pointing forwards or straight up and down, it's going to make your fly spin in the water, and we don't want that. Just like so, trim away the stem. That's looking alright. More wraps back there. There we go. Now for a wing, I'm using kind of a cool material here. So this is peacock sword. So I've got 2 feathers here that I've kind of matched up. I've seen guys where they kind of trim away the stem and keep it that way. I find if you just put them together, then you're just going to isolate yourself a small chunk here, maybe 1/2 inch, 1/3 of an inch, somewhere around there. I'm just going to trim that away, pull it away from the stems. I'm not too picky at how they're sitting. It doesn't have to be perfect. I prefer if they're going kind of all over the place. So I'm going to have that just extend past the bend of the hook. I'm just going to do another pinching loop. It's nice and loose. Pull straight down. Just see how that's sitting. That looks alright. I prefer if they're kind of splayed out all over the place. If you haven't used peacock sword before, it's a pretty cool material. I'm just going to tidy up that head a little bit. Now we're going to add a little more goose shoulder. And just a couple little fibers here. You can see 2 or 3 is all you need. So I'm going to tie one on my side, one on the other. So these are just going to be accent pieces. So I want the curved side going in. I'm going to tie it in kind of on that diagonal where the hackle and the wing meet. I'll probably tie it roughly the same size as the wing. That's my side done. One more on your side. Let's see. Somewhere around there. Let's see how that's sitting. Sitting right. I think that length is pretty good. I'll just pinch them to the side. Tidy that up. Wrap back on these so they don't fall apart. Push them away. Now we'll clean up that head. This one goes together pretty easy. Pretty simple, old school wet fly. And we'll whip finish. One last step here. Probably guessed it. Solar bone dry once again. This stuff is awesome. Just be careful not to get any on the wing or on the hackle. Creates that nice shiny head. Zap it. And there you go, the Alexandria, the old school wet fly. Kind of a fun one. Tie some up, fill your boxes. Let's head on up and sign out. Alright guys, there it is, the Alexandria. So like I said, pretty cool pattern. Killer in the Lakes was banned at one point in UK because it just worked too damn good. So tie some up, play around with it. Again, you can play around with the hook too. This is just the first one I grabbed today. I've tied some up on some smaller salmon hooks as well, like size 8s and 6s. Nymph hooks work great for these. I was hoping Dana was going to send me some of those fly fiend hooks because he had some nymph ones kicking around. Come on, Dana, send them over, bud. Yeah, those would be a good fit too. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can tie these on, and it's a cool pattern. So play around with the colors too and get some fish. All right, that's it for me this week. So see you next week. Come on into the shop if you got a chance. Come say hi. Struggling with any patterns, and I'll definitely sit down with you and show you how to do them. What else we got going on? That's about it. Spring Fishing Classic sales coming up at the end of March. We've got a rod and reel trade-in program like we did last year, which went over really well. So looking for a good deal on a rod. That's going to be the best time of the year to do it. Check out our website, FridayNightFlies.com, for all the recipes and our huge catalog of flies. Instagram, Facebook, we're everywhere these days. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.
Friday Night Flies would like to thank the following sponsors: Superfly, Solarez, Chinook Wind Outfitters, Dr. Slick, Griffin, Stonefoe,